Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of High Energy Girl. And today you've got me. That's right. And we're going to talk about energy healing. Hey everyone, welcome to High Energy Girl, a podcast helping women to age stronger because it is never too late to get fit, be strong, and feel sexy. I'm your host, Tracee Gluhide, health coach and personal trainer and founder of HighEnergyGirl.com. Each week, we will either have a guest interview, which will provide you encouragement or an actionable tip to help you age stronger, or I will do a solo episode. Please also join our awesome Facebook group called High Energy Girls, and I'm looking forward to see you on the inside of that group and hope you enjoy today's show. Hey everyone, this is Tracee, and I have a special announcement. In order for me to help more women age stronger, I have created a 90-day one-on-one coaching program. And the goal here is to teach women over 50 how to age stronger while burning fat and boosting energy without going hungry or living in the gym. If you'd like more information, please hit me up at Tracee@HighEnergyGirl.com or friend me on Facebook and send me a message. I have a goal of transforming 1,000 women in the next year, and I hope you are one of them. Okay, so when I came up with the brand High Energy Girl, I think it was in about 2013, and I was working with a branding coach after becoming a health coach back in 2011. And she said, go out and ask people what like the top 3 adjectives that they would equate to you, that they would describe you as. And everybody said high energy, high energy. So that's how we came up with the High Energy Girl brand. And little did I know that if I fast forwarded about, maybe 2018, 2019, that I was actually going to start working with energy healing. My first experience with that was with Qigong, and I learned about a form called Penggu Shen Gan, and I went ahead and I learned the 2 basic forms as well as the Chinese healing modality. So it's the Qigong healing. I had to go up to San Francisco and I met with the founder and his daughter, and they certified me with energy healing. And then I started doing Reiki shortly afterwards, and I'm going to guess that was about 4 years ago. Well, I'm happy to announce that this weekend, after 3 long days, I received my Reiki Master with Holy Fire training. And the last step in my journey I'm working on is with the Praying Medic, and it involves a very, very similar modality to Reiki, but you're actually praying with the client, praying over them, and you're a conduit with that modality just like you are with Reiki. So today I'm going to do a deep dive and describe to you all the different things with energy healing, why I'm very attracted to it, how it actually works, and how it has nothing to do with religion. And so I was raised, and I've been a Christian for as long as I can remember, since I was probably, 6 or 7 years old. And this has nothing to do with it. So you don't have to be afraid like so many people are. Okay. So if you look at our body, most of the doctors, they study biology and chemistry. Well, there is another science called physics, right? And so physics has to do with energy. A lot of it has to do with energy. So if I ask you, what is your body made of? Some people will say cells. Right, that's true. But cells are made of molecules, and then molecules are made of atoms. And if you look at an atom under a microscope, you are going to see a few particles scattered about, which would be like protons, neutrons, electrons. And a lot of that atom is going to be empty space. So does that mean that we're empty space? We're talking, you guys, like 99+% is empty space, but we aren't clearly just empty. What it is it's energy. And a long, long time ago, Einstein said the energy field, is the governing force of the body. So many people have heard of acupuncture, right? We're very, very familiar with acupuncture in our Western culture. Now, acupuncture uses needles to unblock energy, okay? So you can call them distortions or blockages, but it's all about unblocking the Qi or Chi so that the information pathways clear up. And that's how your body communicates, is on those information pathways or meridians. And I equate it to like a traffic jam on the freeway, okay? So you've got a traffic jam and you're not going to be able to get to where you want to go fast enough because of the traffic, right? So the blockage or distortion is very, very similar. And so we can use energy work to clear that blockage, clear that distortion so your body can have freedom. It can communicate freely. And oftentimes those blockages, if they persist long enough, that is how disease or like an ailment occurs, because now your body's not operating at its full function. Okay? So when you talk about that, so if we're mostly energy, well, what is energy healing? So we create energy and are constantly burning that energy, even if we're just sitting still, okay? Because that's what we're primarily made of. And if you've ever been near like a large energy generator or battery, you may notice like some sort of a vibration. And the air seems to be a little different when you're near one of those huge energy sources. And your body is the same way, but just like to a lesser extent, okay? So if any of the complicated like pieces or parts of a certain power generator fails, that will temporarily disrupt energy production. And that's why power plants, they have these types of issues all the time. And sometimes that's why you actually lose your electricity or your power to your house, even though there may not be an electrical storm or another type of weather event, okay? So is this all making sense so far? I'm trying to give you like an example that you can really resonate with. So just as your electric company will send out like a service truck and repair people to get your lights back on when we lose energy, power, like our power to our home, energy healing will use vibration through either sound healing, chakra balancing, crystal healing, color therapy, or acupuncture. Okay? So it's very, very similar in that way. You have like a modality to restore the vibration. And remember, everything in the world has a type of vibration. Okay? Because atoms vibrate. So the energy system in our body, it affects our physical and our metaphysical body, okay? And these power up our natural healing properties. Our bodies are wonderfully made. So energy healing can positively impact like mental fatigue, poor memory, your cardiovascular, neurological systems, emotional distress, anxiety, spirituality, and even weight loss. It also will give us a sense of where we belong in the universe, because we've been taught that we are very, very small, but in fact, we aren't, okay? So we are much more important and bigger than we've been taught. When our proper energy flow is restored, then we develop a feeling of overall wellness. So you just feel better. And unlike most like modern medicines where they slap a bandage or pop a pill for a particular condition, it's like temporary, right? Energy healing works at the root cause to balance the entire body and the mind, right? Because everything starts in your mind. So we don't treat the symptom, but rather the underlying energy system problem, which has created the symptom in the first place. And energy healing could be traced back thousands of years to a time when like there were no technology and all the scientific discoveries that they use right now in modern medicine. And enlightened healers, they understood that humans were energetic entities, and maintaining a healthy energy flow was vital for spiritual and physical well-being. And they knew that we have the power to heal ourselves. Okay? And that went away thanks to Carnegie and Rockefeller. And when they put millions and millions of dollars in the Western medical schools, only to bankrupt the natural schools of natural healing. And energy healing is a centuries old practice that works to restore our personal power and our life force energy flow when it is disrupted. Okay? As our knowledge has increased exponentially over generations and generations, most civilizations have moved away from these old school types of healing practices. Okay? And like the US, because we're so Western medicine driven, we are totally far removed physically from where our ancestors hailed from. Okay? So it's no wonder that like believing in crystals, sounds, or vibrations gets laughed at, and they think, oh, you're like woo-woo or new age. It's ridiculous. So today we're going to talk about different modalities because I have been trained in different practices and how they came to be and how the Western medical community has like pushed them away in recent years. Okay. And these energy healing practices may very well become the first line of defense for preventing illness in the future. Okay. Because let's just face it, you guys, healing begins at home. Work on what you can yourself before rushing off to the doctor to get the latest pill that will put a Band-Aid on your symptom and give you numerous side effects. Natural ways are the way we were created. God didn't invent it, he just created it. So we're also going to discuss just different benefits of healing and how you can do it yourself, how you can hire a practitioner like me to work on it with you. Okay? So let's start with some of the energy healing benefits. So let's say that you want to shed a few inches from your waistline. And so you're going to start exercising and you're going to start eating right because your goal is to become slimmer and leaner. However, your body is an integrated being of multiple networks. Okay? So when you positively impact your health in one way, like cutting down on the size of your waistline, you will actually experience multiple benefits, right? So you're going to drop a few pounds to get to this like waist goal, but you're also going to improve your energy. You're going to improve your heart and your respiratory system, your breathing. Your self-esteem is just going to skyrocket. So your self-confidence, and you're just going to be happier because you're going to feel better about yourself, right? Well, this is kind of like how energy healing works. You may only want to improve one area of your life, but because energy healing positively will return your entire electromagnetic system to its proper state of functioning, your whole existence, both physically and metaphysically, will benefit in so many ways. Okay? So some of the limitless benefits might be more self-love, self-esteem, and self-awareness, like you're living inside of your body instead of inside of your head. Super important. Your cholesterol may go down, which isn't always necessary. Okay? We'll talk about that on another video. Your blood pressure will go down, healthier hair and skin. And remember, this is not medical advice. Okay? This is just things that we have observed. You can improve your vision, your hearing, have a longer and healthier lifespan, lessen the risk of developing degenerative disease such as Alzheimer's, diabetes, and cancer, feeling more connected to the universe, a healthy spiritual and emotional awareness, and better physical, mental, emotional health and well-being. Okay? And that's just a few. But just it's an overall better sense of wellness that you can't even imagine. Okay, also pain. So let's talk about that because that's what a lot of people begin with because that feels like a system or a symptom. So earlier we talked about atoms, okay, and how they're mostly made of energy. And even though we consider ourselves to be like a solid being, we are composed of trillions of miniature particles, which are in a constant state of vibration, okay? So atoms are always, always vibrating. And when an outside source causes the natural vibrational patterns to become disrupted, illness and disease can be the result. Okay, so we need to readjust our vibrational energy, and then with that, we can return to our proper flow state. Okay, we can increase our life force energy, and the illness, infection, disease, or the pain goes away. Now, remember that energy healing has been used in the form of acupuncture in Japan for several centuries, okay? So several hundreds of years. And acupuncture, as we know, they inject or insert a small needle into your body. We have Chinese acupuncture and Japanese acupuncture. I actually prefer Japanese because the needles are smaller, and I've had both, but I just prefer the Japanese. So it can be painful, especially a Chinese, because they kind of twist it and move it around. But what happens is the pain is released. So your energy will flow just like your blood flows. Okay, so your blood flows to your veins and arteries, and your energy pathways also flow. And we call those pathways meridians. Okay, you might have heard of that before. So an acupuncturist is well versed in what energy channels in your body lead to health or sickness, and what presents itself in certain symptoms. Okay, remember the symptoms come after the blockage or the problem. So an energy healer may treat a location in your body that you feel is like way far from what your problem is that you're having. But the ancient healing practice actually has worked for generation after generation, and it can positively treat anxiety, cancer, arthritis, mental fatigue, obesity, and like tons of different mental and physical illnesses, okay? So this is just one example, you guys, of how energy healing can be used to alleviate pain, alleviate illnesses, and it's just by clearing the blocked meridians. So you can do that with Reiki, you can do that with needles, or you can do it even with sound, okay? I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. Okay, so some natural healers are going to use sound frequencies. They're like called hertz, a certain hertz of music. And basically everybody's doing the same thing. So it's just the energy flow to move the blockage through, okay? It's all about bringing back that flow of chi, which is the energy. So if you were to go to 2 different practitioners of Western medicine, you may receive 2 entirely different prescriptions or types of treatment, okay? This is because there's often more than a single way to like heal your body. Some people treat headaches by taking aspirin, ibuprofen, Tylenol. Others might meditate or do some tapping or taking a walk out in nature. So energy is similar. You can do different modalities to help achieve the same result. But again, it's all about clearing those distortions and blockages. So let's talk about chakras. So we know that we have 7 main chakras or energy centers in our body. So let's start with the first chakra. We have the root chakra, which is at your tailbone. Then moving up just below your belly button, we have the sacral chakra, which is orange. Your root chakra is red, your sacral chakra is orange. And then we move up just under your rib cage, just below. You have your solar plexus, which is yellow. In the middle of your like breastbone, you have your heart chakra, which is green. Your throat chakra is turquoise, which is right where your throat is. Your third eye, which is in the middle of your forehead, is like an indigo or a dark blue color. And then your crown is at the top of your head, and that is a purple color. These are all, if you can imagine, like a wheel of energy, and they all connect and help flow. Okay, so oftentimes when I lead a meditation, I will talk about the chakras, and so that we can send energy to each one. And they also align with like crystals and even essential oils, yoga, all of that can balance your chakras. Okay. So we can also say certain meditations or affirmations, words and phrases to balance each chakra. We don't want it turned too high or too low. It's kind of like the Goldilocks theory where we want it just right. Okay? So let's talk about energy. Since I just got my energy master or Reiki master training with Holy Fire. Now, Holy Fire basically just means extra powerful energy. Reiki can also be referred to as healing touch. It is an ancient Japanese healing technique that also helps with stress reduction and even weight loss. Science has actually proven that when applying Reiki energy to another human being, it releases chemicals even, such as oxytocin, and that is how the stress goes down. And it will heighten feelings of pleasure, of joy, of relaxation, and just make you feel really, really good. And by clearing those distortions and blockages in the energy field, your cells are able to communicate better, and people experience some amazing healing results. So Reiki actually takes advantage of this, and the practitioner will hover their hands above the patient's skin after calling in the Reiki energy. And the practitioner is simply a hose or a conduit to the energy of the universe, okay? The energy from God that He passes through us to go into the client or the patient. Okay. And oftentimes, just after one session, the client will feel relief from both emotional and physical like symptoms or issues. And in a lot of hospitals in Europe, they actually can measure a patient's energy prior to surgery with a specific machine, a device. And I've actually been tested on this device before. And if the patient doesn't have a high enough energy level to recover to surgery, they will perform Reiki on them. And then they'll test them again because they don't want to give surgery to somebody who will have a difficulty recovering due to lack of energy. Okay. And the energy from the practitioner that flows through the practitioner is channeled into the patient's bioelectric circuitry. Okay, and this will actually push out the blocks or negative energies that are disrupting the normal energy flow within the body. Okay, it's kind of like a plumber, right? You know, you get a clogged drain and they roto-rooter it out. Well, that's the first thing that the plumber does, right? Is to fix the problem. They need to put a burst of the roto-rooter or that snake pipe into the snake thing into the pipe where it's blocked, okay? And it often works to correct the issue and they don't have to do anything else. So the same idea is with Reiki, that with cleansing energy from the practitioner's field, it pushes through the blockages in the patient's energy pathway. Okay, are you guys following that? If you think about the roto-rooter, I think that should help. So the words Reiki, what do they mean? So Rei is translated as higher power or God's wisdom, and Ki is life force energy. So in this way, you can see that ancient Japanese healers believed that this practice to be spiritually guided energy healing. Okay, so it will improve a patient's life force energy. Now, we're born with only a certain amount of life force energy, and it's called Jing, all right? It's like a savings account of energy in our body, and when it is depleted, that is when we get sick. So we want to keep it full, and that's why we want to do different energy modalities to boost up our energy. When I first came up with High Energy Girl, my tagline was increase your energy, empower your life. And oh boy, did I have no idea what I was getting into, but God knew. Isn't that cool? When I was in nutrition school in 2011, my teacher, the owner of my nutrition school, we met for tea in San Francisco, and he said to me, "Healer, heal thyself." And I came home literally and I painted it in my kitchen. It's still there. And little did I know that I was going to be an energy healer, but God knew. So it's pretty cool. So these ancient Japanese healers, they believed that this Reiki practice was spiritually guided energy healing, and it would improve your life force energy. Many, many, many clients say they feel this like radiance, like a light enveloping them. They feel this buzziness or this heaviness or warmth or cold during a Reiki session as these energies are just like pushed through the body. Okay. So it's pretty awesome the way it can help with health issues and even pain. Okay. So let's talk about the Qigong energy. So traditional Chinese medicine is so it's called TCM. And this healing practice is also ancient. It uses several different treatment methods to balance energy flow, increase qi or qi, as it is said in Chinese, okay, qi, and it will restore the overall health and well-being of the patient. So it's very holistic because it doesn't work to heal a specific condition, but rather to return the client's body to a state that helps the flow of energy, okay? So that your life force energy is free flowing, which means that the blockages and distortions are actually removed from the energy field, okay? And so we want to have flow. We want to have this free flowing life force. And when that is reached, then the patient's immunity, and which helps fight disease, okay, will take over naturally. So it's simply removing the blockage so that your body will flow naturally. Okay, and there's 4 key principles or beliefs with this modality, is that each human is born with a natural, powerful ability to heal yourself. Number 2 is preventing illness and disease is the best approach. Okay, so prevention first. And it's much better than waiting for a problem to develop that you have to treat. So we want to honor our temple, right? Just like people take better care of their cars than they do their bodies. It's crazy. So number 3 is each human body is a single being that is incorporated by multiple parts and processes. And each and every part of the human body is essential for maximum wellness. Last one is human beings are totally connected to nature. And remember, you are not a body with a soul. You are a soul with a body. I love to tell you that because it just kind of syncs things up differently in my mind for sure. Okay, so the Qigong practice is they believe that every cell in your body is important. The smallest of microorganisms is just as important as your heart or your brain for influencing everything in life, okay? And so we treat the entire human being, and this means like the physical, the non-physical, your spirituality, emotional, mental, physical, everything, okay, is healed through an application of diet, lifestyle choices, and energy healing, okay? Energy practice, increasing your energy, empowering your life, all right? So one of the common things, you guys, is vibration. So a lot of people don't understand the whole concept of vibration. So let's just use this example. So if you have like, say, a Petri dish and there's all these atoms in there in this Petri dish, and they're all vibrating at the same speed, okay? So, or you can think of a metronome. But the atoms go, say that's the speed. If you flick one and make it vibrate faster, the others will catch up to it. They'll increase their vibration as well, because the highest vibration wins. And so you want to think about that within yourself as well. It's called entrainment, okay? So the atoms will pick up speed to match the highest vibrating atom. So how do we do that with ourselves? Well, there's high vibration things and there's low vibration things. And when I lead a meditation, I'll often say, inhale, love, joy, peace, health, happiness, prosperity. Exhale, stress, doubt, worry, fear, anger, frustration. Okay, so the first one, you're inhaling all things that make you feel good. And on the exhale, you're getting rid of all things that make you feel bad. So the best way to do it is to think about that you want to think about what you want and not the absence of it. Meaning, like a lot of my clients come to me because they want to lose weight. So we want to talk about like how we want to feel, and we want to eat nourishing foods for our body, and we want to feel good, and we talk about that as if it's already happening. Okay, so we're living in it moment by moment. We want to have gratitude for every little thing, like you're loving yourself to health, so that we focus on healthy habits that make us feel good, like hydration, sleep, meditation, yoga, massage, self-care, walking in nature, having fun, laughing. Those are, really good high vibration activities. And you want to get rid of all the low vibration things, like turn off the dang news, okay? There's nothing that makes you feel good with the news. It's way better to watch, binge watch Seinfeld episodes or something that makes you happy and makes you feel good. And touch is really, really good. Listening to, we talked earlier about sound therapy. Look up 432 hertz music on YouTube and listen to that when you're doing chores around the house, because that sound therapy can help you in so many ways. We want to get rid of the fear, anxiety, and stress and live in the moment, live in the now, the joy, the happiness, and catch yourself faster. When you start worrying about something, catch yourself faster so you can start get rid of the worry, because most of the things we worry about never even happen. Okay, we waste so much of our lives on something that will probably never even happen. And so you want to focus on spending time with loved ones. There's just so many things, you guys, that make you feel joy. Okay, spend more time in the joy state, not in the stress state. Okay, you guys, I have been talking long enough, and I really hope you got something out of this today, because I feel that our world is shifting as we step into the golden age of mankind. We are going to be looking at life in a different point of view. And energy healing is a way for you to literally age stronger and healthier and enjoy the process. Okay? You're not too old, and it's never too late to change a trajectory of your life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you have any questions, just hit me up, Tracee with 2 E's at highenergygirl.com. You can also book an appointment with me on my website. I will put a link below so that you can grab a hold, or you can go to highenergygirl.com and look at programs and just book an hour with me. And we can, do an integrative approach to helping you age stronger and healthier. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, please leave us a rating or review over on iTunes so more people can find our amazing shows with our amazing guests. And we will be back next week with another guest for you to learn from. All right, go out and make it a great day, you guys. This podcast contains the opinion and thoughts of its host and guests. It is intended to provide helpful and informative material on the subjects covered. All statements made on the podcast have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. If the listener requires professional assistance or advice, please contact your personal medical doctor. Both host and guest specifically disclaim any responsibility for any liability, loss, or risk personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence directly or indirectly of the use and application of any of the contents of these episodes. Like I said, this is my opinion and I could be wrong.